They never fought without purpose, and they never retreated without reason. Kale studied the simulation carefully. And yet, despite their power, they disappeared. Why would a species this capable vanish? Did they choose to hide, or were they forced into exile? Nira pointed to a holographic projection of a small fleet moving through unknown space. Look here. The humans were retreating in some cases. But it was not defeat, it was strategy. They withdrew to preserve themselves, to survive until the right moment. They were patient, planning for centuries. Joran shivered. They were thinking ahead, far ahead. Even when they were alone, they had a plan. They didn't just fight, they survived everything. And now we are standing in the middle of their history. As the crew moved deeper into the ship, the vessel itself seemed to respond. Hidden compartments opened, revealing more weapons, more star charts, and even what appeared to be training simulators. Holograms of humans running drills, coordinating attacks, and practicing tactics flickered into life. Leora reached out to touch one of the panels. It's almost as if they left these for us to see. A message, a warning. They want us to understand, to know what they were capable of, and maybe what they still are capable of. Kale nodded slowly, and the galaxy has no idea. We've underestimated humans for millennia. They were never weak, never helpless. They survived and thrived in ways no one else could. And now, we've discovered the proof. Suddenly, a warning light flashed on one of the consoles. Sensors detected movement outside the ship. Kale felt a tightening in his chest. Prepare for anything, he ordered. This could be another species trying to claim the ship, or it could be humans themselves. The sensors confirmed that an alien vessel was approaching, scanning the ancient human ship. Its engines glowed faintly, and energy signatures suggested it was armed. Kale watched as the ship moved closer, realizing that the human's legacy had drawn attention. They know something is here, Leora said, and they are coming. Whoever is out there, they are aware of this ship's power. Humans left a trace, and now the galaxy is noticing. Joran glanced at the tactical logs. Captain, if humans are still out there, they could return at any moment. And if they do, nothing in the galaxy can stop them. This ship is a reminder, a warning, and a challenge. Kale's mind raced. We must understand everything before that happens. We cannot let this ship fall into the wrong hands. Its technology, its knowledge, it could change the balance of power forever. Leora studied the AI systems. They built defenses that are still operational. Drones, automated weapons, sensors. They prepared for discovery. They anticipated intruders, even after centuries. Whoever built this, they were always thinking. The crew realized that the humans had not just survived wars, they had planned for discovery, for a future when someone might stumble upon their technology. Every system, every weapon, every log was a part of a strategy to protect their legacy. Kale walked to a holographic display showing fleets of human ships. He watched as they maneuvered across star systems, attacking and defending with flawless coordination. They were unstoppable, he said quietly. Even in exile, they were prepared. Every action, every retreat, every battle calculated for survival and victory. Nira tapped a panel, bringing up a series of recordings. Humans spoke to each other, giving orders, making decisions, and recording strategies. The voice was calm, authoritative, and filled with confidence. Kale could hear the weight of command, the certainty of a species that had mastered war and survival. They were leaders, Kale said, not just soldiers. They guided entire civilizations, fought impossible wars, and survived when no one else could. And now, their legacy is here, waiting for the galaxy to discover it.
Leora nodded. We found more than a ship.
We found proof that humans were extraordinary. They shaped history in secret, and now we are part of their story. As the alien vessel outside moved closer, Kale realized that the humans' plans had not ended. Their ship was alive with intelligence, their defenses ready, their knowledge preserved. If humans were still out there, They would know their history was being uncovered. This is only the beginning, Kale said. If humans are still alive, if they return, the galaxy will not be ready. We have stumbled onto something that could change everything. Their power, their strategy, their survival, it is beyond imagination. Doran looked at Kale, fear and awe in his eyes. And if they are not friendly? If they return and find that their ship has been discovered, what then?
Kale shook his head. Then we will see.
But one thing is certain. Humans are not weak. They never were. They survived everything, planned for centuries, and left a legacy that still commands respect. If they are out there, they will not be ignored. The crew continued to study the vessel, discovering chambers filled with star charts, weapons, and tactical manuals. Each discovery reinforced the same truth. Humans had been masters of war and survival. They had thought ahead, prepared for the impossible, and left behind a record that no other species could match. Leora paused at a doorway leading to what appeared to be a private chamber. Inside, the walls were lined with personal records, logs, and memories. Holographic images of humans in peaceful moments flickered. A family laughing, children learning, soldiers resting. Even amid war, there was life, love, and hope. They were human, Leora said softly. They fought, survived, and loved. They were like us in some ways, but stronger, smarter, and more determined. They carried everything with them even in the darkest times. Kale felt the weight of history pressing down on him. Humanity had been erased from memory, hidden by time and perhaps by enemies too. Yet their legacy, preserved in this ship, was more powerful than anything the galaxy had recorded. As Kale looked around, he realized that this was only the beginning. The human story was far from over. Their legacy was alive in this vessel, and the galaxy had yet to understand the full scope of what they had accomplished. Kale turned to Leora. We have uncovered a history no one believed existed. Humans were not weak. They were not gone. They were something greater. And now the galaxy will learn it, whether it is ready or not.
Leora nodded, her eyes serious.
And when it does, nothing will ever be the same. The ancient human vessel hummed softly around them, as if acknowledging their words. It waited, silent but powerful, a monument to a species that had defied time, war, and memory. Kale and his crew had opened a door to the past, but behind it lay a future the galaxy could not yet imagine. The alien crew had spent countless hours inside the human vessel, uncovering secrets that had been hidden for millennia. Each discovery had been more astonishing than the last, but none of them were ready for what came next. As Kale stood on the bridge staring at the blinking sensors, a shiver ran through him. Something was changing in the system, something alive, something aware. Leora's eyes narrowed.
Kale, look at the readings.
There is movement in the outer system, multiple signatures, faint but definite. It's too organized to be natural. It's ships. Human ships. Kale's stomach tightened. Impossible, he said. They were supposed to be gone. Extinct. This ship is thousands of years old. How? How could they still exist? Neera's hands flew across the console trying to make sense of the data. It's not just one ship, she said. There are dozens, possibly hundreds. And they are all cloaked. They are observing us. They know we are here. Joran stepped back, his face pale. We've awakened them. We've triggered something we weren't meant to see. And now they are coming. Kale took a deep breath. Calm. Observe first. We need to understand what we are dealing with before acting. Outside the asteroid belt, tiny blips shimmered into view, moving with precision that betrayed centuries of experience. The humans had survived, yes, but they were not hiding in fear. They were watching, calculating, waiting. Every ship moved as part of a larger pattern, a formation that even advanced alien fleets would find difficult to break.
They are not just survivors, Leora said quietly.
They are masters. Every movement is deliberate, every ship in its place. They are ready for something, and it's not us. They are preparing for the galaxy. Kale nodded, feeling the weight of her words. The legends were true then. Humans were not just fighters, they were strategists. And now, after all this time, they are showing themselves again. The ship's AI activated a series of displays showing human commands and instructions from centuries past. Orders, messages, and directives began to play in sequence, detailing protocols for fleets, defenses, and communication. Kale realized that even after all these years, the humans had left instructions for a future they could not have predicted. But they were ready for it anyway. They planned for discovery, Kale said. They anticipated it. They left the galaxy a warning, and now it is coming true. The humans are awake. Leora's eyes narrowed as she studied the fleet outside. They are not attacking, yet. They are assessing, watching, learning. An ancient human vessel is found by aliens, exposing millennia of war. The star system was quiet, almost too quiet. The alien vessel glided through the black void, its sensors sweeping over every asteroid, every drifting fragment of rock and ice. Kale stood on the bridge, his hands gripping the railing as he watched the endless expanse. He had been to many systems, but this one felt different. Something in the readings made his skin prickle, though he could not say why. Leora, his second-in-command, stood beside him, her eyes fixed on the glowing monitors. She was calm, but Kale knew her mind worked faster than anyone he had ever met. "Kale," she said quietly, pointing to the largest asteroid cluster in the belt. "Do you see that? There is something unusual inside that cluster. Something artificial." Kale leaned closer to the monitor. The readings were faint, almost like a whisper from the past. The object hidden among the rocks was enormous, much larger than any natural formation they had ever seen. Its shape was hard to make out, but there were straight lines, smooth surfaces, and patterns that no asteroid could form naturally. "Could it be a derelict?" Kale asked.
A ship that has drifted here for centuries? Or longer, Leora said. This is unlike anything we have recorded.
"The energy signatures are weak, but still active. Whoever, or whatever, built it new technology we do not fully understand." But Kale felt a surge of excitement mixed with fear. Humans had been spoken of in whispers among the galaxy. Once, long ago, they had walked among the stars, but everyone believed they were gone, erased from history. Yet here was something unmistakably human. The markings, though faded, carried the style of a species that had mastered survival through war and strategy. He turned to the crew. "Prepare an exploration team. We will board this vessel. Keep scanners active. Keep shields up." Humans were alive, and they were ready. The galaxy had believed them extinct, but nothing could be further from the truth. Leora turned to Kale. "They are not hostile, yet, but they are powerful. More than we could have imagined. Their fleets, their technology, their planning, it surpasses anything in recorded history." Kale nodded grimly. "We have been given a choice: observe and learn, or act and risk awakening a power we cannot control. Humanity is no longer a story of the past. They are a force of the present." The Alien Council convened urgently. Messages from the outer system reached their homeworld, and debates erupted. Some factions argued for preemptive action, fearing the humans' return. Others urged caution, suggesting that these humans might bring knowledge, wisdom, and strength if approached carefully. Kale and Leora argued for observation, trying to buy time to understand the humans' intentions. Days passed and the humans' fleet remained just beyond sensors, cloaked and silent. Yet their presence was undeniable. Small probes and stealth vessels moved closer, scanning the asteroid belt and the alien ships. Every movement was deliberate, measured, and intelligent. The humans were not reckless. They were patient, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves fully. Kale and Leora worked tirelessly to decode more of the human vessel's records. Each log, each tactical simulation, revealed new layers of human capability. They had not only survived wars, they had mastered them. They had created weapons, fleets, and strategies that could challenge entire civilizations. And now, they were ready to return. Neera finally looked up from her console, her eyes wide.
Captain, I think I understand now.
This vessel, the fleet, the transmissions, it's all a test. The humans are testing us, the galaxy, the systems around them. They are assessing who is capable, who is weak, and who might be a threat. Everything we've done inside the ship, it has been observed. Kale felt a chill. So every decision we've made, every move we've taken, is being watched by the species we thought were gone. They are learning about us before revealing themselves fully. Joran swallowed hard.
And if we fail the test?
If we make a mistake, Dale's gaze hardened. Then the humans will act. They will not be merciful. But they are not here to attack without cause. They are masters of patience, and we must respect that. This is not a species that strikes blindly. They strike with purpose, precision, and intelligence. The alien crew continued to monitor the fleet. Slowly, the cloaked vessels began to move closer, revealing outlines, shapes, and sizes. The humans had returned in strength and silence and in precision. Their ships were sleek, powerful, and unlike anything in the galaxy.
They are beautiful, Leora said quietly, awe in her voice, and deadly.
Every design, every structure, every system, it screams efficiency and purpose. These humans were not merely survivors. They were architects of war and life itself. Call watched as one of the human ships uncloaked partially, revealing a massive vessel similar in design to the ancient ship they had found. It glowed with energy, weapons systems humming faintly. It was as if the humans had brought a piece of history with them, a message that their power endured. They have returned, Kale said.
Not to fight yet, but to remind the galaxy humans were never weak. They were never gone.
And they will not be ignored. Suddenly, the humans transmitted again, this time a series of images, logs, and holographic data directly to the alien vessel. Kale and his team watched as battles, strategies, and histories played out before them. The humans were showing the galaxy the truth. Every victory, every retreat, every calculated move over millennia.
This is incredible, Nira whispered.
They are revealing themselves, teaching us, maybe even warning us. Their history, their strategy, their survival, it is all here. And yet, they remain distant, observing, waiting. Kael felt both awe and fear. We are witnessing history, but it is living history. Humanity is alive, and their legacy is now real, not just legend. The galaxy must understand this, and quickly. As the humans' fleet lingered just beyond the asteroid belt, Kale and Leora realized that a new era was beginning. The species long thought extinct was alive, aware, and ready. The galaxy had been blind to human power for too long, and now the truth could no longer be hidden. Kale turned to his team. We have seen their history, we have felt their presence, and we have understood their legacy. Humanity is back, not as a myth, but as a force that will shape the galaxy. Our role now is to learn, to respect, and to prepare for what comes next. Leora nodded. And what comes next is uncertain. But one thing is clear. Humans endure. They adapt. They survive. And they will prevail, as they always have. Outside, the human fleet shimmered in the stars, cloaked yet present, a silent testament to the species that had been forgotten. The galaxy would never be the same. The ancient human vessel had been a key, and now the door was open. Humanity had returned, and the galaxy was about to remember what it had tried to forget. Kale took a deep breath, feeling the weight of everything they had uncovered. We have witnessed a beginning, not an end, he said. And the galaxy will need to remember one simple truth. Humans are not weak, humans are not gone, and humans will never surrender. The ancient human vessel hummed quietly, its systems alive, its records complete, and its fleet watching from the shadows. The humans had returned, patient, prepared, and unstoppable. Kale knew that what had been hidden for millennia was now waking, and the galaxy would never be the same again. We do not know what we are dealing with. The ship's engines hummed as smaller craft detached and began moving toward the asteroid cluster. Kale joined them, his heart pounding. The closer they got, the more the shape of the vessel became clear. It was massive, like a fortress frozen in time. Its hull was scarred and dented, but it had not completely decayed. Faded symbols ran along its sides, signs of an era long past. Leora was the first to dock, carefully maneuvering the smaller ship to align with a reinforced entry port. The airlock hissed open, and the team stepped inside. The corridors were dark, but their lights revealed walls covered in panels, switches, and symbols. The air smelled of ozone and something else Kale could not name, a scent that carried a memory of battles long gone. "This is incredible," said Joran, one of the crew members, his voice echoing slightly in the vast hall. "It has been here for thousands of years, and yet so much remains intact. Whoever built this, they were masters." Kale nodded, feeling a strange mixture of pride and unease. Humans had been forgotten by the galaxy, yet their presence still lingered, powerful and silent. They continued deeper into the ship. Every room they entered told a story, rooms filled with machinery, weapons, and strange devices. Some of the technology seemed dormant, others hummed faintly with energy. In one of the larger chambers, they discovered what appeared to be a command center. Holographic projectors flickered to life as sensors touched the control panels. Shadows of humans appeared, ghost-like but clear, moving as if frozen in time. They were dressed in military uniforms. Speaking to one another in a language the ship's AI began translating automatically. "They are soldiers," Leora whispered. "But not like anything we know. Their armor, their weapons, they are designed for survival in war on every scale. Not just space combat, but battles that span planets, systems, even galaxies."
Kale studied the projections carefully.
The humans were discussing strategies, coordinates, and logistics. Their faces were stern, but their eyes held intelligence and determination. This was not a primitive race. This was a species that had fought, survived, and mastered the chaos of war in ways the galaxy had long forgotten. Joran pointed to another panel. "Captain, the logs here, they are extensive. Hundreds of thousands of records, all detailing conflicts, battles, victories, and losses. This ship, it is a history of humanity itself."
Kale felt a chill.
"It cannot be," he said. "Humans were supposed to have vanished long ago. Every record we have says they destroyed themselves or were destroyed.
History is written by the survivors.
The truth, we are seeing it now. They were not weak. They were not helpless. They were unstoppable in their own way." As they continued exploring, the ship's AI activated more systems. Doors opened that had been sealed for millennia. Weapon systems, long dormant, came online, though they did not fire. Sensors picked up defensive drones moving in the shadows, silently patrolling corridors. The crew realized that this ship had been built not just for battle, but for survival against any threat, known or unknown. Kale felt a mix of fear and awe. These humans, long erased from history, had left behind a vessel that could rival the greatest powers in the galaxy. They had been more than explorers or colonists. They had been warriors, strategists, and survivors. Leora discovered a chamber filled with star charts and navigation logs. The stars the humans had traveled to, the systems they had mapped, far exceeded anything the aliens had thought humans capable of. Some of the records indicated encounters with species the galaxy had never documented, battles that spanned decades, and tactics so advanced that they seemed almost like magic. "This is remarkable," Leora said. "They were hiding, but they were never defeated. They survived every war, every enemy. This ship is a testament to their strength." Kale felt a growing unease. If humans had survived all this, where were they now? Why had they disappeared from galactic memory? He tried to push the thought away, focusing instead on the ship. Every corner, every room, every panel spoke of planning, strategy, and endurance. In the engine room, the crew found a massive propulsion system unlike anything in their records. It was clean, efficient, and frighteningly powerful. The humans who had built this ship had mastered energy and propulsion far beyond current understanding. They could travel vast distances, strike quickly, and vanish just as fast. Nira, another member of the team, worked on decoding some of the AI's logs. Slowly, she began to understand the patterns, the sequences, the orders humans had given during their wars. Every action was precise, calculated, and ruthless when needed. Humanity had not been careless or chaotic. They had been deliberate, a force to be reckoned with. Kale stared at a holographic image of a human commander giving orders. They were organized, he said quietly. Every movement, every battle, they had control over everything. Even in the chaos of war, they never lost their minds. Leora placed a hand on his shoulder. And they are still out there, somewhere, hidden, watching, surviving. We have found only a piece of their legacy. What we see here. It is not the full story. This ship is a warning, Kale, whether we understand it or not. Suddenly, a panel lit up with a warning. The ship's AI had detected movement outside, sensors picking up a cloaked object approaching. Kale felt his stomach tighten. The human's technology was still active, still defending itself. The crew realized that the ship had not been abandoned entirely. It was protected, even after millennia. Kyle ordered the team to secure the room and prepare defenses. They did not know what they would face, but the presence of active systems suggested that humans had left instructions for self-protection. The idea that a species could plan for survival across centuries left Kale both impressed and uneasy. The team watched the monitors as the cloaked object revealed itself. It was not human. It was another alien craft, scanning, possibly trying to claim or destroy the ancient vessel. Kale and Leora exchanged a glance. Humans had survived countless wars, and now, even in absence, their power drew attention. Kale made a decision. We cannot let this vessel fall into the wrong hands. Whatever humanity left behind, it belongs to the galaxy, but it must be protected until we understand it fully. Prepare to defend the ship if necessary. We must honor what they have built, even if they are gone. As the alien vessel hovered in the void, Kale felt a strange connection to the humans who had built this ship. They were gone, yet not gone. Their legacy was alive in the walls, the engines, the weapons, and the knowledge stored in endless logs. The galaxy had forgotten them, but Kale and his crew had rediscovered the proof that humans were not just survivors. They were legends. The stars stretched endlessly around them, indifferent to the drama unfolding within the asteroid belt. Yet within that darkness, the ancient human vessel waited, silent but powerful, a monument to a warlike species that had defied extinction. Kale and Leora knew that they had opened a door to a past that the galaxy was not ready to face. A past that carried warnings, knowledge, and the promise of power beyond imagination. And as the first light of the nearby sun reflected off the ancient hull, Kale felt the weight of history pressing on him. Humanity had been forgotten, erased from memory, but the echoes of their warship now spoke louder than any tale. The story of humans, long hidden, was just beginning to emerge, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The alien crew had barely stepped inside the ancient human vessel when it became clear that this ship was more than just a relic. Every corridor, every chamber seemed alive with history, humming faintly with energy that had survived millennia. Kale walked slowly, careful not to touch anything that might trigger a system they did not understand. The ship was vast, far larger than any they had seen before, with rooms and passages that twisted like a labyrinth. Leora followed closely, her eyes scanning every panel and console. It feels like the ship is watching us, she whispered, like it knows we are here. Kale nodded, though he did not fully understand the feeling. Perhaps it was just the AI, still active after thousands of years, reacting to intruders, yet something deeper stirred within him. Humans, it seemed, had left behind not only their technology but a part of themselves, woven into the ship. Joran, the youngest member of the team, ran his fingers over a control panel, wiping away centuries of dust. These markings, I can't read them, but they are precise. Every line has meaning. Whoever built this knew exactly what they were doing. Nira knelt beside a holographic console, her eyes wide as she scanned the glowing symbols. It's more than engineering. These records, they are strategies, battle plans, logs of victories and defeats. This is a history of humanity at war. And not just local conflicts. Interstellar war, Kale. They fought across stars, against species we haven't even heard of. Kale felt a shiver run down his spine. He had seen war before, studied ancient battles, even fought minor skirmishes. But the humans' records hinted at something else entirely. A level of organization, skill, and endurance that was almost unbelievable. Leora approached a large doorway, her hand hovering over the panel. This room, she said quietly, was a command center. The size, the number of consoles. It is enormous. And look at these projections. As she touched the controls, holographic images flickered to life. Humans appeared in crisp uniforms, moving confidently from station to station. They spoke to one another in a language the AI began translating slowly. The words were tactical, precise, filled with orders for fleets, defensive positions, and strategic retreats. These humans were masters of war, Joran said. They could control battles on multiple planets at the same time. Look at the coordination. Look at the precision. Kale studied the holograms, feeling awe and a growing unease. And yet they disappeared. Everyone thought they vanished, destroyed in some ancient conflict. But this shows they survived everything. Nira tapped a panel, bringing up a series of star charts. They mapped more systems than any civilization we know. Entire sectors explored and documented. And here, she said, pointing to a cluster of markings. These are enemy positions. These humans were fighting wars across decades, maybe even centuries. Leora frowned. If they could survive all that, why are they gone now? What made them leave? Did they retreat, or were they hiding?
Kale shook his head. I don't know.
But whatever they did, it worked. They adapted, survived, and left behind this legacy. The team moved deeper into the ship, discovering storage chambers filled with weapons, armor, and strange devices. Many of the weapons were dormant, but even the simplest tools seemed advanced beyond anything the aliens had ever seen. Some could fire energy that could slice through hulls. Others could disable systems without destruction. These humans were not just warriors, Leora said, her voice low. They were inventors, engineers, tacticians. They thought of everything, every scenario, every threat. Kale walked to a wall lined with holographic records, watching images of fleets engaging in combat. Massive warships moved like chess pieces, striking with perfect timing. Smaller vessels flanked enemy positions, while stealth units struck from shadows. The humans' ability to coordinate war across multiple scales was staggering. They were disciplined, Kale said slowly. Even in chaos, they had control. Every movement, every strike, every retreat, calculated. They were patient, cunning, and ruthless when necessary. Joran frowned.
And yet, they vanished. How can a species this powerful disappear?
Was it betrayal? Disease? Or some enemy stronger than them? Nira shook her head. I think they chose to vanish. To survive, they had to hide. This ship isn't just a relic. It's a vault. They left instructions, defenses, and history. They prepared for a time when they might return or be discovered. The thought chilled Kale. Humans had not just fought wars. They had planned for survival across centuries, maybe even millennia. And now the galaxy had stumbled upon their secret. Leora motioned toward a smaller chamber, half hidden behind a bulkhead. This looks like a tactical room. Maps, signals, logs. It might tell us more about why they disappeared. The crew entered cautiously. The room hummed softly, the consoles lighting up as sensors activated. Holographic maps of star systems appeared, showing battle zones, travel routes, and settlements. Each mark told a story: conflict, defense, survival. These humans were everywhere, Nira said, tracing her finger over the maps. They were fighting enemies we don't know, traveling to systems no one else could reach, and they survived. Against everything. Kale felt a mixture of awe and fear. If they could do this in the past, what are they capable of now? Where are they? Are they still hiding? Joran shivered. And if they are still out there, would they be friends or enemies? They are strong enough to change the balance of the galaxy. As they explored, the ship's AI activated further systems, showing simulations of battles. Kale watched fleets of human ships maneuvering with unmatched skill, striking and retreating with flawless timing. Even defensive systems responded intelligently, anticipating enemy moves before they happened. These humans were not just survivors, Kale said. They were strategists, masters of war, engineers and explorers all at once. They thought ahead of everyone else. They could predict enemy behavior, adapt instantly, and strike decisively. Leora nodded, her expression serious. And they left all of this behind, hidden in case anyone found it. They didn't trust the galaxy, not completely. They survived by staying invisible.
They mastered the art of being unseen while powerful. Kale moved to a console showing communications logs.
Some of the recordings contained messages between human fleets, orders to colonies, and strategic reports. The language was formal, precise, and filled with authority.
They were leaders, Kale said quietly. Not just warriors.
They guided entire civilizations through war and survival. They shaped history without anyone even knowing it. Nira pointed to another console. Look at this. They documented their enemies, technology, and even their own failures. Every mistake, every victory. It's here. They learned from everything, and they planned for centuries. The crew felt a growing respect for the humans. They had thought of them as a lost species, small and weak. Yet here was proof that humans were far more than legends. They had been a force to be reckoned with. Hidden, but unstoppable. Leora paused at a doorway leading to what appeared to be a private chamber. Inside, the walls were lined with personal records, logs, and memories. Holographic images of humans in peaceful moments flickered. A family laughing, children learning, soldiers resting. Even amid war, there was life, love, and hope.
They were human, Leora said softly. They fought, survived, and loved.
They were like us in some ways, but stronger, smarter, and more determined. They carried everything with them, even in the darkest times. Kale felt the weight of history pressing down on him. Humanity had been erased from memory, hidden by time and perhaps by enemies too. Yet their legacy, preserved in the ship, was more powerful than anything the galaxy had recorded. Suddenly, the ship's AI activated another system, showing a defensive mechanism. Small drones moved through the corridors, scanning, patrolling, and protecting. Even after thousands of years, the vessel was ready for war. Kale realized the humans had anticipated discovery. They had prepared for intruders, for enemies, for anyone who might stumble upon their secrets. They planned for this, Kale said, his voice low. They left instructions, defenses, and knowledge. They were not careless. They were always thinking, always ready. Leora studied the AI logs. This ship is more than a relic. It's a warning. The humans were powerful, and they are still out there, somewhere. Their technology, their strategies, their survival, the galaxy cannot ignore it. Kale felt a strange connection to the humans who had built the ship. They had vanished from history, but their presence lingered in every panel, every corridor, and every log. They had survived hidden, and now their legacy was awakening, even as the alien crew walked its halls. The team continued exploring, discovering chambers filled with star charts, weapon schematics, and tactical manuals. Each discovery reinforced the same truth. Humans had been masters of war and survival. They had thought ahead, prepared for the impossible, and left behind a record that no other species could match. As Kale looked around, he realized that this was only the beginning. The human story was far from over. Their legacy was alive in this vessel, and the galaxy had yet to understand the full scope of what they had accomplished. Kale turned to Leora. We have uncovered a history no one believed existed. Humans were not weak. They were not gone. They were something greater. And now the galaxy will learn it whether it is ready or not. Leora nodded, her eyes serious. And when it does, nothing will ever be the same. The ancient human vessel hummed softly around them, as if acknowledging their words. It waited, silent but powerful, a monument to a species that had defied time, war, and memory. Kale and his crew had opened a door to the past, but behind it lay a future the galaxy could not yet imagine. The alien crew had spent days exploring the ancient human vessel, and each discovery left them more in awe than before. Yet as they moved through the ship, a growing unease spread among them. Kale had always been cautious, but now he felt a tension that was impossible to ignore. Every system they activated, every log they read, revealed humans not as a lost species, but as a force of war beyond comprehension. Leora stood beside him in the command chamber, her eyes fixed on a large holographic map that displayed star systems, fleets. Kale, she said softly, we have only scratched the surface. These humans, they were everywhere. And if they survived this long, what are they doing now? Are they still hiding? Or are they waiting? Kale swallowed hard. We don't know. But one thing is certain. They left this ship to be found for a reason, and we are the first to discover it. That means we are part of their plan, whether we like it or not. Joran, who had been scanning the tactical logs, looked up with wide eyes. Captain, there's something else. These records show conflicts with species that don't exist in our history. Entire wars that no one in the galaxy remembers. And the humans always won. Always. They adapted, they fought, and they survived everything thrown at them. Nira added, her voice trembling slightly. It's not just survival. They were masters of strategy. They thought in ways we cannot even understand. Every move, every strike, it was calculated to perfection. Even their mistakes were planned for. They learned faster than anyone else. Kale paced the room, feeling the weight of the truth. And now that we've found them, we've stirred something. This ship is alive with their plans, their history, and their defenses. If they are still out there, they will know we are here. Leora frowned. Do you think they would come back? After all this time? Humanity vanished from galactic memory. Most would assume they were extinct, but we've awakened something. Kale nodded grimly. I don't know if they are coming back, but if they do, the galaxy will not be ready. The humans we found in these logs are not the humans of myths. They are a species that survived countless wars, outsmarted every enemy, and mastered the art of survival itself. The crew continued to examine the vessel. In one chamber, they found simulations of entire battles. Humans maneuvered fleets with precision, deploying strike teams to sabotage enemy positions, while other fleets provided cover and diversion. The level of coordination was breathtaking. These humans, Leora said, could fight entire wars across multiple systems at the same time. They were patient, ruthless, and brilliant, and they will strike only when it suits them. They are patient, Kale. Just like the logs showed, we have underestimated them for far too long. Nira's voice trembled. Captain, if they decide the galaxy is not ready, what then? Could they destroy entire civilizations in moments? Their technology, their tactics, everything we've seen is just a fraction of what they could do. Kale did not answer immediately. Instead, he studied the approaching fleet, trying to imagine the humans who had built it. These were the same species whose history they had uncovered inside the vessel. The same humans who had fought wars across galaxies, outwitted enemies no one else had survived, and planned for survival across centuries. They are here, he finally said. And the galaxy is about to learn that humans were never gone. Hours passed as the humans remained cloaked, their fleet observing the asteroid belt. The alien crew monitored every movement, trying to predict intentions, but the humans were always one step ahead. They seemed to know exactly how the ancient vessel had been found, and by whom. Kale realized that discovery was part of a larger plan. Humans were choosing the moment to reveal themselves, and nothing in the galaxy could force their hand. Suddenly, a transmission broke through the ship's communication systems. It was a human voice, calm, measured, and confident. It spoke in the ancient human language, yet the AI translated it immediately. "To those who have discovered this vessel," the voice said, "know that humanity has not been idle. We have survived, we have observed, and we have waited. The galaxy has forgotten us, but we remember everything. We fight only when necessary, but we will defend ourselves and our legacy. Prepare yourselves for the truth. Humans endure, humans adapt, and humans prevail." Kale felt a shiver run through him. The voice was not a warning. It was a statement of fact.